true that I am fair rapper. It's back, I'm about to. It's back, I'm about to begin. It's back, I'm about. It's back, I'm about to begin. It's back, I'm about to begin.
I drive up and down Harlem blocks, iced out watch, knots in my socks, cops think I'm selling rocks, pulling me over to see if I'm drunk, but I'm sober, they wouldn't fuck with me
if I drove a Nova.
Listen, Columbo, you mad because your money comes slow, and what you make in a year, I make it one show. Now you wanna frisk me and search my ride, call me all kind of names,
Trying to hurt my pride.
you just mad cause I'm a young cat, pockets dumb fat, talking about where the gun at, I've been there and done that, I'm through with that illegal life, I'm staying legit, I love to see cars come cruising by, I'm
Playing my shit.
I walk around with 6 down, without a pistol, my whole click's wild, I'm rich now, no more sticks, I'm making hits now, I drink crystal, I'm through breaking laws, I don't sell coke anymore,
I do tours.
so get that flashlight out of my face to bring me down, them takes to do whatever it takes, rolled up them federals, got my phone and my house tapped, praying that I fall for the mouse trap, I doubt that, why do I end up in
So much shit.
I done came way too far to be calling it quits. Jake wanna lock me up even though I'm legit. They can't stand to see a young brother pockets get bent.
Hey yo, enough's enough. Federals try to set me up, put me in cuffs and crush what I lost into dust. Plus, they want a nigga soul,
But they know.
Big Joey crack and never ride a cat.
Let me know.
For sure, death before the sun up. I left the streets alone since told the season almost killed his mama. So I'ma keep doing what I'm doing, pursuing my dream till there's enough green to start my own union and show these kids how legit it is. Shit is real, I used to steal, but now I own several businesses. So what's your witnesses you claim to have, saying that I'm taking half, distorting New York and not paying tax? I'm laying back, playing the role, playing the low, but it's the same old Joe, so don't get KO. Hey yo, I'm gonna fight for what I never did. I got to heavy dip, why don't they just let a nigga live?
Why do I end up in so much shit?
I done came way too far to be calling it quits. Jake wanna lock me up even though I'm legit. They can't stand to see a young brother pockets get bent. Hey yo.
I see you, G Spin. I see you, Titi Barbara. I see Rashid Belhassid. I see Cool Grims. I see Will Castro. I see Rocksteady 50. We've been on this shit. Big Out the Enemy talking about this. Shit is real. Part 1, we've been talking about this. In 93, Twins Deep Cover, we've been talking about this. Born in the Ghetto on Loyalty, we've been talking about this. Shout out to Fanmio, Fanmio. If you want to talk one-on-one with your favorite celebrities, stars, you can talk to them. If you're a gamer, you want to play against your favorite celebrities, favorite artists, games, one-on-one, you do that GameStar app. GameStar app. Tone Patron, what's up? Mafia, what's up? Ro Parrish on the checker. Damn, Ro Parrish, man. You support the show for real. NBA season sounds like it's coming back July 31st. Now, today's guest is Big Mike. You already know what he's about. If you don't know what he's about, you're going to learn. So let's start off by saying, and hear me clearly, and don't take my words out of context. Fat Joe does not represent every Latino in America. You have friends and family in your family that'll tell you Fat Joe don't speak for me. He ain't the God of all Latinos. Let's be clear on that, right? So I've been getting calls from all across America. No bullshit, no exaggeration. People talking about Dykeman, they profiled the black kids, they ran them out of there. The Dominicans on Dykeman. And so I get the call in Dykeman. I just seen Dominican Power Mayor, he put it up already. So he might have beat me to the scoop. But so what they were saying was they didn't target just black people walking through Dykeman and racially profile them, right? It's crazy because most of them is just as dark as anybody, right? So, according to them, I'm not there. Is there racist Latinos? Yes. Is there racist black people? Yes. Is there racist white people? Yes. I can't speak for everybody. But being that Joe has always been for Latinos and blacks, they were calling me from Chicago, from everywhere. So indictment, they said some kids was out there trying to loot. Told them, yo, we're about to loot Dykeman. They said, you can't do that here. According to them, they say that's the video we're seeing. Right? Now, I don't know where you from, whether you black, Spanish, Chinese, whatever. If you know somebody's about to loot your neighborhood or burn it, you might want to defend the local restaurant or whatever's going on. And I'm not justifying none of it. I don't know what happened. I'm telling you, according to me calling the streets, and I just seen a post of the kids that was on Dykeman, the Afro-American kids, and the Dominicans together, talking about there is no beef. Right? So thank God that ended peaceful. If you know Dominican Power, you know the guys over there from the basketball courts in Dykeman, they posted it up. In Chicago, a little bit different. There's always been racial tension here and there, right? When I call the guys in Chicago, and I do not speak for them, and I can't really tell you what really happened. I'm telling you what I heard, right? So in Chicago, they say, I'm not there, they say it's a similar situation. They didn't let nobody loot their neighborhood, whatever the case may be. I'm for peace between all Latinos and all blacks. And I've never, ever been either way, right? I'm too black for certain Latinos. I know I'm light. I know you. Sometimes you guys hate the messenger because I'm like light skinned with green eyes, right? So you don't like that I'm the guy who talks about this shit, right? But everybody's calling me and I'm giving you my opinion, right? So now, I've always been for Latinos and blacks together as one. We got the same systematic racism all aboard. So everybody out there, please come together. Please be on the same side. I'm looking at everybody. Everybody says they're against the police brutality. They're for George Floyd, whether it's Latino, whether it's black, whether it's whatever it is. We want to be on the right side of what's happening. Thank God these guys. Nah, I address it because I really had some really concerned people hitting me up about it. And when my friends are concerned, I gotta address it. Simple as that. I have to address it. So that's what this show's about. This is the real shit. This ain't the fake shit. This is the real thing here, man. Hold up, let me see if my guest is here yet. See, Killer Mike's here. You know, I'm ready for this. I took my old man nap. It got me a little hour, a little zinger in. Know what I'm saying? And I can tell you something. Eric B on the check-in. You see my brother Killer Mike is in the building. You can be black, Latino. Why is that confusing to people? Yes. You guys get mad when I explain that to you. You guys get mad when I explain that to you. When I explain to you how the hell in the world Big Papi Ortiz from Boston Red Sox doesn't have African in his blood, you get mad at me. Everybody want to get mad at me. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you that right now this is a defining moment in the history of America. We got to come together to change these laws systematically. We got to come together. It's the 10 records is on the check-in. We got to come together systematically to fight oppression and to actually get something done. Everybody's been marching for years and years and years and years and years and barely got any results. Finally, we can have our scholars. We can have, I seen President Obama for the first time on TV. Finally, we can get together as the intellectual people we are and make some changes. So that's the shit I'm talking about. I see my goddaughter on the check-in. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, one and only
Joe Crack the Don. What's up,
Killer
sir?
Mike.
What's up? How you
Killer
doing?
Mike.
How you doing, Joey? Can you hear me?
Man, I can hear you perfect.
Good, good. You good, brother?
And I can see you, man. You're looking beautiful over there, man.
Man.
Handsome.
Hey, man,
Handsome.
before we get to all the day's events, man, let me say, man, right now it's a teenage kid, man, in the 10th grade. I wish I could go back and see him and say, man, you're going to be hollering at Joe Crack from Digging in the Crates, man. Like you got to understand the influence you had on my life as a man, an MC. Like, I love you, brother. Just know that. I've told you that before in private, but publicly, the world got to know that, we definitely with some hip-hop heads and some nerds down here listening to Duck Down, Digging in the Crates. You know what I mean? We are a product of the most golden era of hip-hop, and I followed you all the way through. So I revere you like I revere E40, Bun B, Scarface. Like, I love and respect you, brother. Thank you.
I'll tell you something off rip. Charlemagne put you in his top 5. He said you his favorite rapper of all time right here on this show.
Oh, man, that's beloved, man. That's love. I'm going to work my ass off to live up to it, too, man.
Yeah, because, I'm like, I'm waiting Rakim. I'm waiting. When you say top 5, you start thinking Biggie Pop. He was like, yo, Killer Mike. I was like, Killer Mike? He said, Killer Mike.
Yeah. I agree with him now. Shit. I ain't going to play that humble. I agree with him. But, stylistically, I have proven myself over the years on many features. And I've been on features with Outkast, Hov, Bun, many others. I done held my own and shine every time.
We respect you on another level. Me and you, I run into you all the time. You and your wife.
Absolutely.
Beautiful people. Killer Mike, what do you think? You think this was enough? The four arrests today?
I think it's enough for this case for right now. But we're not just fighting on the behalf of this case and right now. This is for 400 years past and 400 years in the future. For black people, for Afro-Latino people, because I know a lot of times they just get clumped in and it doesn't understand that these things are happening in other countries too. Afro-Latino people are often treated far worse in society than other Latino people that tend to be lighter. So we have to understand that this is a worldwide problem. It's a systemic problem. And it's a changing of American law, and it's a changing of the way we view and we handle. I love you, Joe, because you one that claim your African ancestry and you align yourself with it. God bless him. I love him as a baseball player, but we see my homie Sammy Sosa doesn't do the same. Different cut, man. So you got to make sure you cut like Otario Schomburg, and you're not trying to run from who you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bigger fight. This case is going to be won. The people are going to be, shouts out to Trinity Fitness, my beloved brother from up there. This case is going to be won, but I got to say it's about the larger spectrum. It's about staying on their ass locally. So it happens in Minnesota. It happens in Brunswick, Georgia. It happens all across this nation and the world. We got to make sure that people who look like us, man, have an opportunity. So that way, if you fail or if you win, it's on your own merit and not on the system holding you back.
Let me tell you something, Killer Mike. The thing I respect about you most is that you always on this shit. This ain't flavor of the month. This ain't not. You always front line with this. Every time I see you, every time I talk to you, you about this life for real. And I know Republicans that love Killer Mike.
Absolutely. Nah, absolutely. Listen, man, like
Republicans that tell me they love Killer Mike.
Real shit. I hunt, I fish, I farm. I'm in a $80,000 pickup truck right now, and I got every semi-automatic rifle and pistol I ever wanted in my life. So I got a lot in common. I got a lot in common with people.
You love that Second Amendment, right?
Man, I like the red clay of Georgia my feet stand under. You absolutely right. Any country wise enough to give the people the ability to arm themselves and fight against tyranny is a country worth fighting to be a part of, because we got a lot in America. I think if you haven't traveled the world, you don't understand that people who look like me and you, a lot of times in other parts of the world, they so locked out of the system that they never have an opportunity to gain footing in any capacity, in the economic capacity, in the protect themselves capacity. It's criminalized to take care of yourself. And in this country, we have opportunity, even at our lowest, we have opportunity that people who look like us don't. And I think that it's on us to take that opportunity, because we could be helping people in Haiti. We could be helping people in Dominican Republic. We could be helping the people throughout the whole diaspora if we take ourselves seriously here when it comes to protecting ourselves, growing food, taking care of our money, building businesses and legacies instead of being wasteful. So for me, I'm not preaching. I'm doing what the dope boys in my neighborhood did. Like, I'm not doing this because it's some fantasy I read or I got woke yesterday and things of that nature. Whenever you woke up, it's fine. But I've been woke a long time. The gods and the earths, the nation of gods and earths educated me. The nation of Islam educated me. My grandfather taught me how to hunt and fish. So the lessons that I'm telling people have been what I've been living since I've been 12, 13, 14 years old, when you had to show and prove yourself worthy. So for me, I'm telling you based on what I've really dealt with, what I really live. I'm not suggesting things to you because I read them. I'm telling you what I really do. Greg Street, one of our biggest DJs here, plays more hip-hop and wears more Supreme than anybody in Atlanta, goes fishing every week. He teaches young men and women how to take care of food and how to take care of themselves. Fishing for hip-hoppers in Atlanta. He's a brother, I think, out of Virginia or NYC, teaching kids to fish, black kids in the city every week. So all I'm saying is, you got to take care of yourself. So a lot of reason I think that people who may not agree with some of my political choices still respect me is because they see I'm living it and I'm doing it for real. So if you're a libertarian, if you're a conservative, people can see a lot of them in me because I get my ass out there and I do it. Like right now, we've been locked in the crib. I've been growing my own garden, growing my own food. So this time, give me a couple months, I'm going to have my own greens on the table, because you're not supposed to go to the store for. Absolutely. So, man, I just want us to win, man. I want us to win because the people that I've looked up to, when I first met Joe Crack in terms of as a fan, he was a light-skinned Latino kid who could rap his ass off, who was a member of the illest graffiti crew in all the land. He was my hip-hop hero. And years later, he's a businessman, motivational speaker, husband, father. The life that I followed has been like the idol I had. You, Bun, E40. So I think that if we get more of those examples out there, that we start to raise the bar for all of us. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate brothers like you, Nori, all the brothers that put good information into me so I can live it and show other people the information as well.
Shout out to Nori. Nori swears he's the plug to Killer Mike.
Nah, that's my man. Nori.
You shouted him out on the TV show. He sent me the clip. He said, I'm a legend.
Yeah. I love him, man. I love him. We was all just together.
It's his wife Nuri's birthday today. Shout
Oh,
out
I got to call. I got to call my wife, man. My wife loves her, man. They tight. So I'll make sure my wife give her that call today.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday, man.
Killer Mike, they got you up there, the mayor, the sister out there in Atlanta. And
yes.
I seen you on the front line. I seen you giving that passionate speech, which I didn't expect anything else. Is it time? Because this is the one thing that bothers me, right? I look at stuff and I say, I know I was poor. I know I was actually a major problem when I was a young kid. So my thing is, I would have been out there rioting and looting and shit like this. But when the smoke clears, we fucked up our own hood and we burned down our own hood.
Yeah.
Was this the message? Like, are these guys gonna stop looting and fucking up our hoods?
Well, I'm gonna say that I rioted in '92. I did. You know, we banged out a Foot Locker in downtown Atlanta. So I'm not condemning the rioters, right? I'm saying protect the black businesses, because Big Dave's Cheesesteak, which is owned by a young black man, got damaged. And now after putting $20,000 in the COVID relief out of his pocket, now he has to go back and cover his restaurant. The agency, which is an upscale restaurant in Fitz, which is black owned by Paul Judge, got damaged. And all of these business owners said, we understand and we'll rebuild. They didn't condemn the rioters. So we're not condemning the rioters. We got to condemn the system that creates a situation or the atmosphere for the riot. But in terms of the rioters, what I want you to know is you're responsible to become organizers after the riot. You have to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. Now that you let them know we not bullshitting, get your shit together. Now it's time for you to get together with 10 and 15 of your homies, for y'all to organize just like y'all will organize a spot on the block, and for y'all to push their ass locally in the political arena, man. I want to see street niggas running for office. Again, because I learned the tactics. I learned not just from politicians or my mentors that have been involved in the Civil Rights Act. I learned acquiring your neighborhood from Fat Steve Jones. God bless him, man. Drug dealer, right in the neighborhood. But when it was time to donate to a political campaign, the candidate that deserved them was for the people. They got a little something. When it was time to buy houses that was abandoned in the hood, he bought the houses, refurbished them, and put people in them. So as for me, man, I'm just telling people, after you riot, after you come out the trap, after you come from your regular job, organize, 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 organize. Because if we don't organize, then we're going to be out-organized by the people who are masters to us all. That's it for me, man.
So, Killer Mike, I had Charlemagne over here. I had Bun B yesterday. I had Charlemagne over here. And he wouldn't say that he would vote for Joe Biden. And what I was saying to him, I don't know Joe Biden. I don't know his people. I've been a fan for many years. I know he was a part of that fucked up law 20-something years ago. But what I do know is we got Donald Trump, the most divisive president in the history, who scares me with the shit he does. And we got Joe Biden, right? So I asked him, he couldn't answer. Could Killer Mike answer the question, will he vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
I think Charlemagne was correct in his answer, and I'm going to stick to that.
What we do with 4 more years of Trump, Killer?
Man, we're going to do the same thing we did under 4 more years of Reagan, 4 more years of Nixon, 4 more years of some of the worst, most horrendous, racist people that we've ever lived under as black and brown people. We're going to find a way to survive and to thrive and to prosper. But what we're going to do in the meantime is put together a black pact, and we're going to make sure that our efforts are met. The efforts that we give to the Democratic Party are going to be met with some reciprocity. We're going to make sure that we have a list of demands, including but not limited to reparations, including but not limited to college and health care and trade school, including but not limited to more control of our public school education and holding law enforcement accountable for abusing our constitutional rights. That's what we're going to do. And locally, let me tell you, don't get so sad over a national election or the person that you want to win losing that you become apathetic and not participate. You can do more around your school board, Senate elections, congressional elections, and mayoral elections than you ever could anywhere else. So get local, get angry, and fight like hell.
Killer Mike, I'm voting for Joe Biden.
Absolutely. That's great. That's great for you to do. I hope you do.
Yo, listen, Killer Mike, I'm with you. Everything you said, but I cannot see. I cannot.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with any of my brothers and sisters that vote for either candidate, to be honest with you. I care that you're active locally. Because I have conservative friends. I have friends that voted for Trump the last time around. My friend Shelly Winters, who has the Shelly Winters Show, he's from Harlem. He's from up there. He's down here with a great radio show. He was pro-Trump and voted for Trump. Shelly is one of the people that I see doing the most work on the behalf of black people in the community. So I don't agree with him politically, but in terms of the work that I see him do locally, it is absolutely impeccable. So that's not going to stop my friendship. So if Joe votes for Joe Biden, they both named Joe. I can see it. But I'm just saying, as for me and my household, you're going to have to give me something to get my vote. That's all.
I get it. And so you don't see, so far you don't see Joe Biden's black agenda being strong enough yet.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's going to be if he gets my vote, if he wants my vote, but it absolutely is not. It absolutely is not.
And guys, when I say I'm scared of Trump, I'm saying figuratively speaking, guys. You know, yeah, these motherfuckers. Yeah, well, I tell you what, you read these comments sometimes, man, they out of control with the shit. You know what I'm saying? And So Killer Mike, man, you're meeting with the cops later. Tell me
No,
what
I'm
that's
meeting with the
about.
Citizens Review Board. There's a Citizens Review Board in Atlanta that has the ability to call cops to task, but I believe they need stronger power, the actual power to subpoena testimony from cops and witnesses of things that may happen that are against the public's best interest. And it's my job to sit down with them and try to make sure that happens.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man, because that's part of the problem. When we look at these DAs, district attorneys, they're like in with the cops, man, and we can't expect
Yeah.
them to ever convict these guys. And you see how long it took for these 4 guys to even get charged. And that's always been a problem for me, man. Even if I didn't know politics or I was hustling in the street and I would go to the courtroom and I see how the DAs were cool with the cops. It's impossible that they're not biased.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
But again, that's another reason I supported the policy. Like, I supported Bernie Sanders because of his policy. A part of his policy was taking the power away from local district attorneys to decide who they prosecute and who they don't, because these people have a relationship with the police already, and giving it to a federal judge of some sort or a special district attorney, or I mean a special prosecutor that would then prosecute those cases. As a minority, man, as a minority in this country, I have to align myself with people who have policies that will protect me. A partner of mine, Coach Blue, just popped up on the timeline, and he said, if you vote for Biden, get ready to get rid of your guns. A lot of people don't understand Biden is not going to get the support from Southern black males in terms of our vote, because we live in the South. We live amongst rebel flags, country-ass crackers that will chase you down in the middle of the street like an animal and a dog, and you think you're going to convince them to vote for a candidate that said he'd take AR-15s off the street? It's never going to happen. So I'm not
Killer
saying...
Mike, I don't think he's taking guns off
Hold on,
the
hold
street.
on,
I
hold
think
on.
they
Let me
just say
finish.
that
Let me
to
finish.
talk towards
This
their
is what
base.
he said. He said he's taking AR-15. I'm not accusing him. He said that. And when you say shit like that, you have to understand that there's a significant amount of black Democratic voters in the South that are not going to go vote because of that. You get what? So I'm just saying, the Democratic Party, I hope and I wish, I really hope and wish that they wise up and they actually come to places like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and they talk to the people they're asking to vote for again. Because if they don't, they're going to lose their most loyal and dedicated voting base. They have black women, God bless their souls, but they've always had black men and women, and they're splitting our voting base. When you have one of the most powerful Democrats in Georgia, Vernon Jones said he supported Trump. Vernon Jones, one of the most powerful Democrats in Georgia. Do you know how many in his constituency are going to follow him? So, Joe, I'm just saying, I want the best for our communities, but I want the people who are asking so much for us to actually come to our communities and be advised by us and engage us fairly. You know what I'm saying?
What if he grabs Stacey Abrams?
I think Stacey Abrams is going to be a great politician one day. She's going to win a state race and
You
potentially
don't
be
think
our
she's
next
going to be
governor.
vice
But
president?
let me finish. Let me finish. I just saw a woman mayor handle a national security and the safety of her city as though she already were a vice president. So if you were asking me which black woman I'd like to see, I'd have to say Keisha Lance Bottoms did a hell of a job handling Atlanta. So that's just to say, if you're going to put somebody black in there, I would put the person I've seen run a city in there. Because again, I'm not voting for personalities. I'm voting for people I've seen execute policy properly.
I like what you just said right now, and I'm with you for the Second Amendment. 1,000,000%, man. I think people should have the right to guns. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, that's just one of the
It's
reasons
not
I
even a
never
debate.
ran.
It's in the Constitution, baby. Like my history, like my
Yeah.
social studies teacher told me in high school. It's in the Constitution, baby. It's for you too. And I smile big. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against somebody
I want to.
protecting their home, somebody protecting themselves. I'm not against it. I've never been against it. And even like places like New York, even places like LA, you know what I mean? I think, they should review it. Now in New York, you get $2 for a gun, and then you get time for the bullets.
Man, God bless y'all. I got caught with a couple bullets coming through the airport, and Man, I had to hire a lawyer and get my stuff straight. And luckily, I'm a concealed weapons carrier. I'm a license out of Georgia, so it wasn't as big as issue. But you know, all jokes and stuff aside, black and brown people, you live in this country. Enjoy every constitutional right you have, because the club of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant people have enjoyed it for 400 years. And I'll be damned if I give up any right before I get a chance to enjoy it, because you worked hard for it. Black and brown people have built this country, and it's no way you shouldn't enjoy your full constitutional rights. So what I'm pushing for, more than being able to have the coolest AR-15, is for you to know that you have every right promised on that piece of paper, and what you look like should not affect that.
That's a beautiful thing, man. And I agree with you on that. I'm telling you the truth. I agree with you. You know, I feel good that people could protect their own homes. So even when I'm here in Miami,
but Joe, let's always remember now, the Second Amendment is not about just protecting your home. It's protecting yourself from tyranny. And what black and brown people are experiencing in places like New York with stop and frisk, in places in Minnesota where a policeman will execute a man by suffocating him with his knee on his neck, that is tyranny. And there may become a day where this country becomes so tyrannical that the citizens have to retake control of the republic. Now, I'm not saying that's tomorrow. I'm not saying that's 10 years from now. I'm not saying it's 20 years from now. But to have a constitution that ensures that it's possible is a precious thing. I would rather have a gun and never need it than never have the ability to defend myself if needed. And when black and brown people talk about government and tyranny, you have to remember that there has been a war against Puerto Ricans at one time in this country. There has been a war against black people and brown people in terms of post-slum slavery and Jim Crowism for over 100 years in this country. There is a war going on with immigrants in this country now. And you have to understand that you're always in perpetual war. And you have to use every constitutional right that allows for your own protection against government, not just against your fellow citizens.
I hear what you're saying, man. It just when the white people say it, I think they sound crazy, and then when you say it, I'm like, holy shit! Like, Killer Mike is making some points. I wish it doesn't get to that, but I understand the laws are set up for you to own guns because of that. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it is. And as far as police putting their neck on people, I believe that it's time. They did the right thing recording it, but at some point, you got to jump on the cop.
Yeah, man. One of the most beautiful things.
On the cop.
One of the most beautiful things I've seen in all of this mayhem is in New York, when I saw a black man be attacked, a white woman throw herself in between that man and that cop. And in other instances, a bunch of white skate kids pull the cop off. You don't have to kill a cop. You don't have to hurt. You don't have to get a charge that's going to get you in jail the rest of your life. You can get a charge that's going to get you a light 2-3 days, and we're going to send those lawyers. Like, we have a National Lawyers Guild. If you go download the Run the Jewels album for free right now, or if you buy it, you have the option, it's for free, of donating to the Lawyers Guild. Or if you buy an album, we donate. We've raised $75,000 today for these lawyers go get protesters out of jail. So you can pull a cop off somebody. You might take a bit of an ass whooping, but that person lives, you live, and these lawyers come get both of y'all out of jail, and then we deal with the case and make sure the cops are dealt with. But it's high time, absolutely. We cannot sit around and see people get murdered anymore. Grab the back of that motherfucker's neck and mob on those motherfuckers and pull them off that human being. That's a human being. You have a responsibility to preserve human life, where a motherfucker with an ego and a badge and a gun has lost sight of that.
And so I've been seeing that. So just like you, I've been seeing people seeing injustices with the police manhandling people, and people just jumping in, pulling them off like, yo, we're not going for that no more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And watch you just straight up kill somebody.
Absolutely.
For 8 minutes.
Absolutely.
And we film it.
Absolutely.
That cannot happen no more. We got to tackle these guys and pray for the best.
Absolutely.
You don't catch an ass whipping. Hopefully we don't get shot.
Absolutely.
But that's what it takes.
And I'm going to tell you this too, Joe.
An innocent man get killed.
I'm going to tell you, we have to do this as well. And I have to give the credit to this idea of Miss Kathy Hughes of Radio 1. She's like, Michael, it is time that you guys organize a fund to set aside to help people who sacrifice for our freedom. Meaning, Every time something happens, I hear this. Why don't the gang bangers jump up and do something for us? Why don't you kill them? You kill each other. And I say to myself, when is the last time you sent money to Assata Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Matulu Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Mumia Abu Jamal or Larry Hoover or Jeff Ford or Leonard Pelter? When is the last time you have made it your business to send money to a revolutionary or a hoodlum that has helped us? And until we start to do that, how can we ask these young men to be warriors? Because if they do it in the name of the hood, at least the hood gonna honor their name always. At least the hood gonna make sure at least their children got something or their mama's house is looked after as a community. If we're going to ask people to bungee jump for us with no cord, be prepared to take care of them when they get a life sentence. Be prepared to look after their families. See, I don't mind the work getting done, but let's take care of the workers. Let's stop asking more out of people than we would do for ourselves. So what I'd like to see, my dream thing, is to see 1 million people from the culture dedicate $10 a month. That's $10 million a month, $120 million a year toward taking care of civil rights leaders who have worked on our behalf and are elderly now and don't have to take care of themselves, like Rosa Parks, whose rent was paid by the owner of Little Caesars Pizza. We should have had a fund to make sure that she never had to worry about that again in her life. We should have a fund that makes sure money makes it to Assata Shakur, and Matulu Shakur has legal representation and food, and Leonard Pelter, who has diabetes in jail, can get insulin taken care of. And until we start doing it, $10 a month is about what you pay on a couple fast food restaurant visits. So if 1 million of us do that for the rest of our life, look at how well we'll be taking care of the people that we're asking to sacrifice on our behalf.
I agree. And recently Swiss was talking about that of hip hop artists. You see, we see our pioneers who invented the hip hop culture and got pretty much robbed for everything, and now this is a $1 trillion business, but we gotta see the pioneers looking fucked up out there. So Swift is talking about getting the collection together to take care of them. I'm with that too.
I'm with the collection. And Joe, bigger than that collection, the record companies that are saying they're gonna black out, fuck all that blackout. Get black and brown people in the offices, black out your motherfucking office, brown out your office, and then beyond that, if we raise money for the pioneers, you give some money too, goddammit. Because they built the industry all of us are profiting from. We stand on their shoulders artistically and financially. They became the cornerstone of the music industry. So the corporations we do business with, instead of giving money to UNICEF and the YMCA and the United Way and the Red Cross, give some money to a fund that will pay these people back in perpetuity for the things that they have given us that keeps us on our feet to this day. And pay fair, like my man KP say. Yeah, don't chump them off. Pay them people fair.
Let me tell you something, bro. The whole music business has been, to me, a Ponzi scheme. Has been the math don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So picture you selling a CD for $9.99. And I know I'm using CD and it's played out, but you selling an album for $9.99. You put your heart, blood, sweat, and tears, and you getting 12 cents for the sale. Now, where would you be at? On what corner, selling what kind of headphones for $10 or anything for $10, and you cool with somebody giving you 12 cents? Man, the whole shit is fucked up.
Man, let me tell you, they used to give you what they call a bomb, which y'all would call a pack. Right, you get $100 bond. So I found out the dudes who was 16 and up, they was getting 25 cents to 27 cents on the dollar. So they was getting $25 to $27 for $100 bond. So if you sell $1,000 bond, they got you $250 to $270. You can get your own quarter. You can start flipping yourself. We was 12 and 13. They was trying to give us 13. I think like 15 or 17 cents off a bond. So you was getting $15 for every $100, $150 off every 1,000. I argued with a dude and told him, look, man, pay me and my buddy what you pay the older boys. And we'll get off these the rest of the night and we'll come back. Told me, fuck it, take it or leave it. He was giving us 15 cents. I said, run it. We'll take it. That nigga still ain't seen me for them $2,000 he gave me a dope. We sold that shit and got the fuck on. I bought Nikes, Starters, Jordans. Cause that like I wasn't gonna be played. And that's the difference between Jay Prince and Tony Draper and Master P and Luther Campbell and some of the mid-level executives that got famous, but they didn't get the formula for making money. So what I love about these young boys and girls that are coming up now, they understand the power of independence. They understand the power of media, be it YouTube or social media, and they're taking full advantage and making motherfuckers come with that bag. I love them little brilliant motherfuckers, and I encourage them to keep doing that because that's an advantage a lot of older artists didn't have or didn't know, but now that they know, rate they motherfucking ass like they deserve to be. Keep the lion's share and pay your team fairly.
When I went independent, they was talking about I was at the cemetery. Like they was like, "Yo, you in the graveyard," and I went and sold 4 million records with that "Make It Rain."
Come on, man.
Ass.
Come
You know
on,
what I'm
man.
saying? So
I ain't
like,
seen you wear the
I've
same
been
pair of
independent
Nikes
ever
in 20
since.
years. Come on, man.
Yeah, Killer Mike. I've been independent ever since. So it's like, you know, you got to understand that the record label's talking about they giving up 100 million. That's the first time I ever heard of them giving up anything.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah.
You know, they just got to make sure they put that money towards the right way. And then start that conversation. Like Snoop Dogg posted, yo, let's start talking about these contracts because these shits is fucked up.
Yeah.
And then we don't understand. We say to ourselves, like culture, the word culture, the actually word culture has been gentrified. Like, I don't think these motherfuckers know what culture really means, right? So the word culture has been gentrified, right? So it's like, so when we coming up, you say, you have to study Fat Joe, you have to study Lord Finesse, duck down everything, and then you went and shop for yours. And then when you see me, you say, yo, Joe, I love you, my brother, yo, you dope. And back in the day, that's how we always did it.
Absolutely.
And now it's such a big disconnect because it seems like, and I'm not hurting any young black Latino kid getting money. I never talk down upon them because they could be the same people robbing my mother. You know what I'm saying? So more power to them. But there's a disconnect to where I see it's more like, let me make the cute song and get all my money up rather than respect the culture of where we came from.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I see a lot of young, you know, I hear that, but I see a lot of respect. When I see Jid out of Atlanta, the boy Black, when I see Kendrick, you can tell parts of his style are such an homage to Big and Dre. And what Outkast did, you can hear in Thug and you can see in his presentation, you know, the rappers that came before him, whether it be Wayne or Dre in style of dress. Like I see a lot of homage paid to the era before them, and I support them. I think old dudes could do a better job of tuning into the youth and respecting what they're doing without being hypercritical. Run the Jewels just dropped the album today. We dropped Run the Jewels for today. It's jamming. People on it. They fuck with it. But one of the most beautiful compliments I got was that these are two veterans who their music does not seem threatened by or in opposition to youth culture. I don't have no beef with the youth because when I see for the last 2 years that the whole world has been living off Paul and Juicy Rhythm, they've been living off Project Pat and Lord Infamous Flow, it shows me that there's the nostalgia in this rap that you can't fight, and I'm proud to see it living. You know, when I see Megan, I think Kim. And not sound, but daring and boldness. I see Trina. I see a legacy that is pushing forward. When I see Rhapsody, I see Latifah. You know what I'm saying? I see Lauren. So for me, the respect is there, and we have to start moving like it is, because when a kid calls you unc, that's not a disrespectful thing where I'm from. That's like if you a sucker, I'm not calling you unc. You just a old nigga. Like, what's up, OG? What up, old nigga? You know what I mean? But if I call you unc, that's a serious show of respect because I'm humbling myself. You know what I mean? To treat you like blood and family.
Yeah, man. Man, more power to them, man. And I'm gonna support them. Always support hip hop culture. You know, when I was younger, I went to these things. They used to do these seminars, and I know you got to go meet with the people, so I'm gonna let you go. But don't go now, Mike. But I used to go to the seminars, and they used to have like you know, the pioneers, rappers that we looked up to,
Yes.
up there, and they talking to the people. And I remember one time they brought up the leaders of the new school, and that's
Yeah.
when they had just came out with PTA and all that. And I
Yeah.
see one of the rappers who I still love and respect to this day. They were like me and you, OGs, and he was like, "Yo, what's that? Yo, all this young music is whack coming out, this and this and that." And I remember just being like 18 years old, looking at, I was like, "Damn, man, like why this old nigga mad? Like
Well, yeah, why he hating on us?
why he hating on the youth?" So I
Hey.
told myself, "Yo, I'll never be that guy. I'm never
Yeah,
gonna be that guy
I can't.
hating on the kids." Yo,
Man,
Killer Mike, I love you. Thank you for coming on here, man.
I
I know
love
you're
you, man.
real busy saving the country, saving the world. I know you did Bill Maher yesterday. I thank you for coming to the big show.
Thank
The
you, man. I
Fat
appreciate
Joe.
Joe. Hey, man, this is hey, man, listen. I got a Diamond D story. I'm out the way, man. Diamond pulled up in some apartments. I had the whole side of this apartment. I was serving. And he pulled up with a chick that was cool with a homegirl of mine, and we moved up on him like, oh shit, Diamond D. Now this is the middle of the South, in the middle of the hood, and Diamond is definitely sure nobody's ever heard of fucking Diamond D. Me and the homies run up, and D is like, oh shit, like you could tell he a little shook, so he a little cold, and not like it's fucked up, but years later D come to me, he say, yo Mike. Yo, man, I'm sorry. He was like, I just didn't know who you was and what you was about. He was like, I was like, yo, man, I understand that totally, bro. But I was like, man, you just was my fucking idol. You don't understand what you meant to me. And he was just like, man, I get it. He say, I get it. Now he say, but yo, I was just out of bounds, man. I didn't know. And I was like, D, if anybody would have touched you, we would have shot them niggas up right there in front of you.
That's right.
So
Diamond been in Atlanta for 20-something years.
Yeah.
Diamond single-handedly put me on.
Yeah,
Took
man.
me off the street, said, yo, Joe, instead of having all this beef, you're going to end up dying or going to jail. Put your
Thank
life
God.
in the music. He went
Thank
and
God.
paid. Diamond D paid for the studio session, even though I had money.
Thank
and
God.
said, yo, he wanted me to change my life that bad.
Thank God,
Because
man.
we used to write graffiti together. So he wanted me to change my life that bad that he took me to the studio and made the 3 demos. One of them was Flow Joe, and I'm here because of that.
Thank God. Listen, man, thank God for him. Thank God for Finesse, man. Thank God for y'all, man. Like honestly, you have made that bigger impact on my life. I love and respect you always, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Killer Mike, we love you. My wife says hi to your wife.
Hey.
And our love.
All right, look. Hey, and in Atlanta, if y'all listen, go vote. The 9th is.
Fucked up. Killer Mike, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I'll call you and I'll find out. Let me tell you a story, man, because, you know, let's go back to when everybody was calling me about the situation at Dykeman or in Chicago or whatever the case may be. I could only tell you what happened to me, right? So I had to go away. I went to jail for a couple of months, the last place I ever thought I would go. But, you know, I could have went to jail a billion times for other shit, but I wasn't guilty of this. So that's how life works. Lisa Brown, what's up? So I remember walking in the first day, and it was 2,000 guys, Haitians, Aryan nations, Latinos. So they all start screaming, ah, when I walk in. And it felt like a dragon from Game of Thrones, but without the fire. So it's pretty intimidating. 2,000 people. You famous. They think you rich. I'm not even from Miami. I didn't know what was going on, so they walked me to my cell. When they walk you to the cell in the feds, I don't care if you're the richest guy on the earth. They don't give you commissary for the first 2 weeks. I walked in there with $5,000 in my pocket, thinking I'll just put it on my books and buy whatever I want. So the way people show you love is they line up outside your cell and they give you 1 banana, they give you a toothbrush, they give you a plate. Mind you, I didn't know this. I never did. They give you a little cereal, a little oatmeal, whatever they got extra. Most people in jail were broke anyway. But whoever got is waiting online. On the line was about 20 people. At least 15 of them was black. About five of them was Latino. Cool. Little banana, little soap, little, I didn't know why this was happening, but that's what happened. Little soap, little spoon, like it's that important, right? So I'm standing there, yo, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool. I go in my cell and I finally sit. The worst part of it is when you sit back in the cell for the first time, when you sit in the bunk and you see the metal thing over you, right? And they got, you know, people's names and you're in jail. So at that point I realized I'm in jail. What the fuck am I doing here? In that split second, two guys walk in the cell. Two Latino brothers. One of them, he looked like a bad guy. He had these holes all in his face. You know, you could tell when it's a bad guy. Like he got these, right? Then he got another guy who wound up being a real cool guy, Cock Diesel, Spanish guy. So the guy comes in the cell and he says, Oye, Fad. And he said, Oye, Fad. So he spoke to me in Spanish. And basically, he was telling me, Oye, Fad. Us Puerto Ricans, we love what you did with you and Big Pun up there in New York. And I've been to the Puerto Rican parades and I got cousins in New York. And I know that the black people get along with the Latinos in New York. But here in this jail, the black people stick with the black. The Latinos stick with the Latinos. White people stick with the white. And then he says, and all the Latinos, they my sons in here. Like this is like a bullet point. Latinos in here, they my sons. And I protect all of them. This is a grown man calling men sons, right? I'm only in there 20 minutes, right? So I go boom. So he talks. He's talking this shit. So I think, so, you know, if you want the Puerto Ricans to hold you down in here, the Latinos, you can't be fucking with the black people. So I get off my bunk. I'm in the bottom, put my legs on the floor. I said, you finished? He said, yes. I said, the first thing you told me is that your family's from New York. The best thing you could do is call your cousins in New York so they could tell you, I'm not a rapper. That's the first thing you need to know, that I'm not a rapper. Number two, and this is even funnier in Spanish because this was a hilarious story. To me, it's hilarious. So I tell him, papito, llama a tu primo a decirte que yo no soy rapero. Ok, ese es el primero cosa. Número dos. Number two is I fuck with the black people and white people too. If they respect me and show me love, I'm going to show them the same exact thing as I'm going to show any Latino. And three is very important. Papito, número tres. If you told anybody in the world that Fat Joe came in here for a couple of months and you ran him and he was your son, they would have to give you a fucking Grammy. They would have to give you an Oscar, the size of the biggest Oscar, for you to tell somebody and convince them that you ran me or you did something for me to protect me. You got me fucked up, Bobby. Let me tell you something. The man started laughing so hilarious. He was on the floor. He was laughing on the floor because even he know this nigga crazy. So after that, I always called him Super Boricua. And I kept fucking with him for life. I wound up stashing some Diet Pepsis in his cell. Every time I turn around, I be like, Super Boricua. He'd throw one down nice and cold off the pier. And you know, it's the craziest shit in the world, man, because I fucked with that guy a lot, man. I bothered him a lot. Ever since that one, I call him Super Boricua. But I don't care where I'm at, man. I'm going to stay true to who I am regardless, man. No matter what circumstance. And I'm for us being together, being united, standing as one. Boricua Morena. That's what I always been for. Dominican Moreno, Mexican Moreno, whatever, man. We all live in fucked up hoods, and we gotta take care of each other. And we gotta stand beside each other through this tough time more than ever. Armando, what's up? Raul, what's up? And that's all I've ever stood for, bro. And you can check it up wherever you at. That's what it is, man. And let's stand up for justice. Let's try to take care of our hoods. Because when this smoke clears and a month turn around and you ain't got no Domino pizza, you ain't got no shit, you ain't got nothing, think about it, man. Think about it. Shout out to Dog in the Yard. Everybody put God first. Let me see. I might take somebody. Let me see if I take seat, because you know people been waiting. They want to know. I'm gonna take about 3, and then I'll log off. What's
Fat
up, my
Joe,
brother?
Fat Joe.
What's going on?
Now ask Big Meats what they know about Joe.
You already know, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm happy you finally got me on here, man. I tune into the Fat Show, the Fat Joe show, the Joper show, the Big show. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're
Because they
doing
don't
on
know
here,
who
man.
I know. They don't know who I know. How you doing? What's your name? Where you from, bro?
My name is Jordan, man. I'm from Long Island, from Amityville, Long Island.
So is it over for the COVID-19? Because I've been home for 3.5 months, and by the marches on the TV, it looked like they trying to tell me it's over.
Oh no,
What is it like out there? Is everybody outside acting like it ain't no COVID-19?
yeah. I mean, ever since the whole situation with God rest the dead with Big Floyd, you know, people, you would think it was over. You know, people are still suffering. You know what I'm saying? They still in the hospital and whatnot. Admittance to the hospital is still high. I work in a hospital. I'm an administrator. So that the census is still high in the hospital, but the severe cases, you know what I'm saying, they're down.
I think it's definitely. I'm really watching, and God bless everybody out there. But I've been that's. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like the reason you ain't see Fat Joe act physically or protest himself is because I'm scared of the COVID. If it wasn't the COVID, I'd have probably been there every other day. It's like, so I'm watching that to see if the numbers go up, way up. Because I'm seeing people out there, no mask, everybody together, you know, and if it don't go way up, then I'm knowing that I could walk outside, just wear a mask.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hey Joe,
that's what they're doing. They out there like regular, but with the mask.
Joe, I got 2 questions for you, man, and I don't mean to make this personal, but
you got
a daughter. So what do you tell her about what's going on TV right now?
That's hard, man. Me and my wife are just talking. We talk a lot. I tell her the real shit, man. I come from the soil, bro. I come from the bottom, and I never liked police. And nah, y'all, I'm being honest with you. I never liked police, and I give myself an award for learning to get over all the ass whippings I've ever got, all the harassments I ever got. I've had cops call me over to the cop car for no reason and punch me in my face in front of my whole hood for no reason. But it wasn't no social media. I'm talking about when I'm 14 years old, 15, you know, I've had so much police arrest. I was a bad guy too. Like, I'm keeping it real with you. I'm not faking rapper. I was bad. Right? So it came with the territory, but you know, they had to fuck with me like that. I would have cops pull up the cop cars to my projects and they got it. I don't know if you ever noticed, there's a light that's like the bat light on the side of the car. They used to point the shit to my window and just leave the light on and stay in front of my building for like a whole hour, just the light in my window, middle of the night. Like, this is how much they fuck with me, like on another level, right? 42nd precinct. And so to overcome that and actually make police officers my friends and love them and be cool with you, you know, it says a lot about me in my character, because I got some friends that are cops, and even though I got harassed and I got beat up, I love them and I respect what they do. Now I tell my daughter everything. My daughter got blonde hair and green eyes. She grew up Little House on the Prairie. That's what we all want to do, raise our kids a nice way. But I tell her, the other day she said she never been racially profiled. She didn't have no racism. I said, great, that's beautiful. I'm happy for you. But I want you to know the day's going to come when you are going to be racially profiled, because you're not white. And there's nothing against white people. You're Latina. You're not white. So just know it's coming. And I'm just trying to prepare you for what's happening. My daughter's not crazy. She see what happened. They killed a man in the middle of the street. They all deserve to go to jail. And I don't even, you know, I'm the guy, like, I'm the wrong guy to be asking these questions. And you work in the medical field. My thing is, I believe in anywhere. I'm not going to press charges on nobody. Ever.
I'm not trying to soundbite you, Joe.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to press charges on nobody ever. If you do something to me, I will hurt you. Bottom line, that's what I believe in.
What'd you say before? What'd you say? Yo no soy un rapero.
Yo no soy rapero, papi. Primer cosa. That's the first thing the nigga gotta do, is he gotta call his cousins so they can tell him, papi, estás jodiendo con el más grande, papi, tú estás loco. Pasa contigo. Like, I told him he'll win a Grammy if he son me. Like, you got to kill me before you son me and call Fat Joe your son and all that. Like, I got to be dead. Like, you, fuck. I'm come up a different time. And, you know, I go by morals and a set of rules. And I hope I'm not a fool for it when I die and I meet God and they tell me, yo, Joe, you was playing yourself all the time. You should have snitched. You should have slept with your friends' wives. You should have, you know, I go by this old school morals. And I've been living it. And I thank God every day when I pray for the fact that I've been able to stick to the script. And that's it. Let me get somebody else a chance. Love you.
Hey, Joe, I appreciate you, man. This is my last thing, man. Simales Lopez out of the Bronx. She's running for state rep. She's fighting gentrification right now in the Bronx. They're trying to get everybody up out of there. Simales Lopez, make sure y'all vote for her. Joe, I appreciate you, man. Let somebody else get on.
Lopez, I'm gonna look into her.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, my brother. God bless. Oh man, that was a real one right there. Frontline worker in the hospitals. I'm always true, bro. Hold on, let me get two more people and then we out of here. Peace to the gods. One. Let me see.
Fat Joe. You
What's
couldn't
up, my brother? How you doing?
you couldn't pick a better time to pick me, my brother. Like, I'm always on your live, and now it's not about me and you. I have a lot to say to you and about you, but now we're in a whole different, like, in a whole different world right now. Um, it's just so sad that everything is going on, Joe. It's like we're all brothers and sisters. We're supposed to be there together. I want to start off to say thank you for giving me this chance. My prayers go out to George Floyd and his family. May God rest his soul in peace. And yeah, we have to stick together, Joe. We're all one. We're all one. We're all brothers and sisters. We all bleed the same color blood. We all bleed red. So if we're not gonna stick together now, then when are we gonna stick together? We're we're
This is
we're
the
late.
time.
We're very late. Like
This is the
we were
time.
supposed to do this a long time ago. Like a long time ago, Joe. Like right now, for us to start it right now is like we have to make history. We have to make history and let them know.
I agree, my brother, man. I appreciate what you're saying because it's the truth. That's how we feel. That's how America feels. I think we all got to go out and vote. I got some brothers who's undecided on who they're going to vote for. I say I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. I don't get paid by
Yes,
Joe Biden.
my wife
I don't get
too.
none, but I think we need to get Trump out of office because I think this has always been a problem in America, but I think he threw the gasoline on the fire, just personally.
Yeah,
And when you go and, you push innocent protesters and you shoot them with rubber guns and tear gas just so you could flex and show your power and go pull out a Bible in front of the church. The church said they with the protesters. This is the crazy. I don't know. We got Fox News, we got CNN. Two different points of view. Fox News says, Commander in Chief, brave warrior, moved them out with the church. Then you got the church saying, no, God is with the protesters. So, my thing is like, can't we just try to make new laws? Because you got to understand, the systemic racism been around for 100 years. You understand? It was always set up for people not to get ahead. And if you brown or black and you got ahead, you are fucking exceptional.
100%.
You are a genius.
Yeah.
When you see the traps and the loopholes to keep you back, when all this information is starting to come out and I'm reading up on this information, I'm like, Jesus Christ, the people I know are geniuses.
Yes.
Like, it's incredible. And
Yeah.
now it's time to change it. And it's a lot to change.
And it is going to change, and we're going to make it change, and we're not going to stop till it changes. Because you know why? Let me tell you why, Joe. This is real facts right now. Like, we come here, okay, and we work our ass off. We pay all our taxes. We do everything we could. Everything we could, we do it. Like, what would they do without us? I just want to know, what would they do without us?
They would do some, shout out to Wayne, they would do something. But my thing is, you're right. I remember I used to see, and I don't want to sound racial or nothing like this, right? But the joke was on us.
Absolutely.
The joke was on us, right? We got this one ghetto Chinese in the corner of my projects. And I would go there, everybody go there every day. 4 chicken went, French fry. We argue with the Chinese lady. We want more ketchup, more hot sauce. And then they own like a little 2-story house. So 20 Chinese people would sleep upstairs, but the business was down there. And I'd be like, damn, they got mad people. Everybody sleeping in one place. But the point was, people were coming from China, their family. They all sleep there. They work on this restaurant, but then they open another restaurant. Then they open another restaurant. Then they open another restaurant. They wind up being filthy rich.
Of course.
With the ghetto Chinese.
Of course.
So everybody has their stories on how they paid their dues or what they have to deal with.
Smart.
But
It's
at
smart.
the end of the day, this is the land of opportunity. This is a land that if you fight enough and you work hard enough, you can become successful. And that's the story you explained it to me. Like, yo, we bust our ass. Yeah, we bust our. We continue to bust our ass. We got to do it till we die if we want to take care of the kids and the family.
If you don't work, you don't eat. You don't eat, you don't sleep, Joe. That's
My
real.
brother, what's your name and where you from originally? Then
I'm from I'm a Catholic Iraqi, and I'm born and raised in Detroit, and now I live in San Diego.
all right, my brother, you stay safe. Nothing but love, man.
And rest in peace, George Floyd. May God bless you, and thank you for giving me this chance to let people know that we're all
Love
here.
you, my brother.
All brothers
Love
and
you, my brother.
sisters.
Stay up.
Thank you.
Good God, man. One more good God, man. Good God, man. It's good people, man. It's beautiful people. Last one. Hopefully this is a good one and we end it.
Yo, what's up, man?
My brother, I'm getting ready to see you like
Hey,
that.
yo. Yeah, what's up, Joe? Let me flow. I've been feeling this far too long. I need to let it all go. Man, it's off the top. This is live with Joe. Y'all, I've been feeling this far too long. I just need to let it all go. Man, I just don't even know what the fuck to do anymore, man. I'm giving up. My mind's torn. I'm opened up through heaven's door. Hell seeking all around me. Demons and angels, I be fighting every day. What the hell is this heartbeat? But feeling these keep chasing me, but streets be average. But I ain't the savage. No, I try to be the beast. They won't let me fucking bad habits. I be trapping, but I'm feeling like a problem. But these people be out here all around, but I be trying to solve the problem. I feel it right now. I've been trying to drop it for so long. Joe, let me see it. I see your bald head believing all the way from Indiana, though. This is live, yo, with Fat Joe. I've been telling you for a minute. What's up, Joe? What's up?
Yo, my brother,
I
man,
do
what's your
sound
name?
out.
Where you from?
Yo, hello, how many people, huh? Hello, man, I've been trying to feel that shit for a minute, man. Yo,
My brother, yo, let me tell you, thank you for your freestyle, man.
yo,
Bless your
turn this
love.
down. Hey, turn this down.
Stay up.
I'm through with, hey, hold on one
My
minute.
brother. I almost brought the whistle out.
No.
I almost. That's the whistle.
That's a whistle. That's multiple whistles.
He got the whistle. Tomorrow night, I hate announcing guests ahead of time. But I'm gonna do it because I feel like you don't know who I know. Tomorrow night, my invited guest, and I'm hoping on God's earth that it really goes down. The great God Rakim. The God MC. Shout out to Eric B on the check-in. Eric B, you watch the show every day. I'm gonna need you to back me up with Rakim. He said he's coming tomorrow. He's on Throwback Thursday. We're gonna talk with the God Rakim. But Eric B, I need you with me. Because you know Rakim, you know he laid back. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be massive for me as a fan, as your brother, to see the great Rakim on here. You know, guys, I started this for you so that we all could get over this COVID-19, cheer people up. And this thing has turned into a real thing, something different. And things change every day. So we're going to talk about different things every day. Keep it hip hop oriented. Yeah, Rakim the GOAT, right? So keep God first. Hopefully, things will calm down. We'll change some legislative. We'll get to the real root of the problem locally and nationally. Because these laws were set up to keep us down. Multiple layers of it. There's a little thing going around called systemic racism. I think Snoop put it up. Kim Kardashian put it up. A lot of people. And, you know, you need to check that out. And you need to see, you know, what that is. Maybe I'll find it and repost it. Shout out to Killer Mike, the man that always speak knowledge, always speak the truth. See you tomorrow. The big show. Peace, y'all.